Alright, recording's a day late, but that's fine, still in the scheduling. I'm not late yet. Tonight I'm going to review My Bloody Valentine 3D in theaters, obviously. And I suppose if you just want to stop the review and want to get my straight opinion, it was pretty much what you'd expect it to be. That's easy, that's the way I'd sum it up. The story basically, I won't really elaborate on it too much because this is a slasher movie and it really doesn't matter, but the story is basically that a deranged miner comes back 10 years after a mass slaughter in this one town and starts to wreak havoc on the population again. And is it the same guy? They thought they killed him. Who knows? It's fairly predictable. You can generally see what's going to happen. You definitely know what the movie's going to contain. In all fairness, the movie does contain a certain level of violence that you wouldn't necessarily see in theaters a whole lot anymore. A lot of it's relegated to direct-to-video stuff, and I thought this was, well, without sounding too sick, good violence. I mean, it wasn't overly sick to the point where you're just like, this is just absolutely disgusting, which I find a lot of those direct-to-DVD movies are. But it was daring enough that it kept you entertained. And yes, it does contain equal amounts of sex, and all I'm going to say on that is there is a 5-minute 3D sex sequence. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'm not really going to elaborate on the plot or character, because it really doesn't matter too much. The killer, miner's mask, uses a pickaxe to kill people, among other things, mainly the pickaxe, and creative enough to kill shots there. The story, it serves its purpose. It's nothing amazing. I hated the ending. They trying to leave it open for a sequel, and these types of movies, I guess they need sequels to function, because I don't think they make a whole lot of money anymore, but it just seems like a total waste. Especially because it doesn't make any sense once you've seen a movie either. I'm not going to drop any spoilers. Anyway, character-wise, the acting is pretty god-awful. You do have one of the main leads from Supernatural in this, and, you know, he's okay, I guess, but, I mean, honestly, I thought he was better in the show. I mean, he's not really a Hallmark actor anyway, but he seemed very stilted here. Everyone either seemed very stilted or extremely overdramatic. Especially that black police officer dude. Like, what the hell? He's just some black officer dude. He doesn't ever introduce, they give his name maybe, I don't know. They probably do at some point, but I wasn't listening. And he's always acting, he's like, this is hardcore, I'm in the most serious movie of the year, I'm gonna get an Oscar for this. Like, dude, chill out, you're in My Bloody Valentine 3D. It has 3D in the title, how good can it be? Now, moving on to the action, like I said, there's some good kill shots. There's a lot of variety in the kills. If nothing else, you give it that. I'm not really spoiling anything here by saying that within the first 5 minutes or so, someone gets the top half of their head severed by a shovel. Actually, I've never seen that before. And I gotta give it props for that. And any type of movie that does tackles this kind of genre and shows me anything new is okay, I guess. Action-wise, though, there is quite a bit of action. Perhaps too much action. It kind of overexposes the killer, and he loses a lot of his ferocity. I mean, let's face it, the killer in this whole mask and costume actually looks quite cool, quite terrifying, to be honest. And the pickaxe is a really good weapon. Jason, machete, you got enough on the pickaxe. Anyway, the action's not bad otherwise. There's really not a whole lot of variance in the types of action. It's him just killing people as we'd expect. There's like one car action scene, I guess. Not really a chase even, but not too terrible. I just want to get on this before I continue. I just need to discuss it. The 3D effects. Okay, I've already mentioned the 5-minute 3D sex scene, which, I mean, I hate to sound sexist here and chauvinistic, but come on. This is hilarious. I mean, you know horror movies are they're sliding down quality-wise for the last quite a while now, and I don't think, frankly, there's ever been that huge high bar of quality, but anyway, this is really like the lowest of depravity here. There is a girl completely naked. I'm talking like full frontal, no bra, no panties. It's hilarious. And she's just walking about outside the sexy den. She's still walking there. And it's all in 3 years. Like, I'm just shaking my head. I mean, I'm a heterosexual male, so it's like, okay, you know what, that's cool on that part, but was this really necessary? No, I suppose not, but that's the fun of the movie, I guess. The amounts of violence and sex, which this genre has been built on. Effects-wise, though, the 3D is not great. It's not terrible. I will say, there was a lot of scenes that seemed out of focus in the background. I went to see Beowulf in 3D, and I don't know if that's an effect of the computer animation, but it seemed a lot clearer there. Regardless, it does have a bunch of what you'd expect 3D to be. Things popping out the screen. There's a lot of the pickaxe coming at you, of course. And admittedly, it's cool, you know. I mean, for a slasher film, I'm surprised they don't do this more often. I guess we had Nightmare on Elm Street 3D and Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D, but, I mean, really, why isn't this used more often? I guess it's more expensive, so they want to make sure they can recoup their money. But for the slasher genre, and I mean the horror genre in general, but particularly the slasher genre, it really relies on its cheap scares, and this is a good way to try and accentuate those cheap scares. And I'm surprised this is not used more often. It just seems like a natural fit. Generally, the 3D isn't used as well, though. If any of you haven't been to a 3D movie in the last couple of years, you really do need to go again. There was no red or green glasses. There was a new system, and it works a lot better. It looks a lot better, too. But, the characters tend to be on different planes in the backgrounds, which sounds disorientating, but it's actually not. Anyway, costuming, about what you'd expect. The only thing I want to reiterate is, again, the main character, the main villain, the main killer here, does actually look quite cool. I mean, I gotta say, this miner's outfit really works well, and the 3D effect in the mine really makes you feel claustrophobic. Oh, sorry, I tried back in the 3D there. But that's really all this movie's got going for it. Point is, in conclusion, if you like slash movies, if you like horror movies, and are not really expecting too much, if you always like watching those Friday the 13th Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and don't think that they're masterpieces of cinema, and, you know, you want to see the 3D, let's face it, it's a selling point despite the shitty commercial. And you know what? If you have some time and money to kill, I think it's $2 more expensive than normal, at least in Canada. But anyway, if you like those things, any of those, you know, go and see this. I mean, I'm not saying it's a good movie. No, it's not. There are some interesting kill shots, and that's really what fans of the genre are looking for. And really, you just gotta see it for the absolutely shameless 3D sexy. It's pathetic. This is exactly what you'd expect in 3D. So I'm gonna give this a mild recommendation if you like slasher genres and acknowledge that they are cheesy and mostly bad. It's fun, but entirely disposable. I likely won't remember this a year from now.